Okay, welcome back to Educational Currency. I'm Robert Namoski from Ultimate Jiu-Jitsu and the Coaching College.
And I'm Chris Kaladikis from Maximum Education.
And today we have a very special guest, someone we've been very excited to have on our podcast, Marianne.
Hi.
So tell us a little about yourself, Marianne.
Well, my name is Marianne. I'm a dietitian and a sports dietitian. I've been a dietitian now for close to 14 years, actually. I have 3 kids, all little babies. One's turning 1 next week, actually. And I have my own business, so a dietitian business. We have 3 other dietitians working at the practice. It's called Nutrition Solutions Sydney. We are based in Sutherland Shire and also have an office in Cogra.
And she's my dietitian.
I am, yes. He's poached
And me and my wife.
and I have a history of previously graduating and working at the hospital, at St. George Hospital for 8 years, and then decided to go on my own to do private practice. And I've been doing that, I think, now for another 6 years since. Yeah.
So if you were speaking to a high school kid or speaking to yourself in year 12, someone just, thinking, do I do this or not? What was one thing that made you certain you wanted to be a dietitian? Was there anything particular in high school that you turned around and went, yep, this is my calling?
To be honest, I knew I wanted to be a dietitian when I was in year 9.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was
Okay.
adamant that I was going to be a dietitian. I grew up in a household of 3 older brothers, so we were playing lots of sport. So I really was, playing sport all the time. So if it wasn't going to be in the health aspect of nutrition, it was going to be like either exercise physiologist or a physiotherapist. But the nutrition side took my heart. So I really worked hard in going down the avenue in year 11 and 12 with the subjects of more science-based, with the goal to get into dietetics. Yeah, so I have a lot of parents that ask me all the time, my daughter wants to study dietetics, my son wants to study dietetics, what's your thoughts? I think you have to have a passion for
That's
industry.
something with this podcast. We want to, someone who's passionate about their job, who's constantly learning and improving themselves. What sparked it for you? Was it a particular teacher? Was it a particular subject? Or in your case, like you said, just your sporting environment?
I think it was the sporting environment. Like for me, being very athletic as a kid, and even in my adult years as well, playing lots of sports. So just knew that nutrition does play such a role in performance, and that's what I wanted to pursue. And I like science. So for me, I really like the avenue of science. So I thought the two go in hand.
Yeah,
Why
perfect.
not go down that?
Found your calling. Well, me and my wife are very grateful.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it was great what she did for us because I've been in sport my whole life as well. But like I was telling to everyone in the podcast, you do not go to diet just because someone looks the part.
Yes.
Yeah, this is and this is when social media gets quite dangerous.
Yes.
The person looks fit, sounds mature. They may be good at training themselves. They may have a certain diet. They may be taking certain supplements that work for them. But it was very different when we actually came to a professional, especially as we age. The supplements you gave us were actually quality supplements, not the ones we were buying from the counter. So thank you.
Yeah. I'm grateful that you came in and it worked for you.
Definitely.
And in this day and age too, there's been so much growth in this area now, hasn't there?
Yes.
People obviously getting, in my point, midlife crisis stage and that too, but really reflecting on our nutrition and our diet, and information has changed. We've heard so much change with the food pyramid. But first thing, I guess I'd ask, someone approaches you as a professional, how do you motivate people in this area to start kind of looking at, this is what you're eating, this is what you're doing? How do you kind of guide that motivation for your customers?
Well, I guess working in private practice, people seek us,
Yeah, good.
right?
Yeah.
So it's not like, and a lot of the time, the referral network is from specialists like endocrinologists or gastroenterologists, and also their GPs. So a lot of our referral bases do come from other health professionals, even like physiotherapists or exercise physiologists will refer many clients to us. So I feel like there's a bit of a self-motivation for these people wanting to come in. It's also hard for change, right? So it's also, they've, been told by their doctor to come and see us, and implementing change, especially as they're an older adult, can be quite difficult. So I think I really think about the individual of themselves, and maybe look at more the clinical aspect of okay, if you don't sort of fix these underlying conditions, it's going to end up being, a lot worse later on. So I feel like that underlying just motivates them naturally because they're like, well, shit, I'm going to either get diabetes and I need to really make a lifestyle change. And really our approach in our clinic is it's actually not complete eliminations. I'm a very adaptable. I come from an Egyptian background. So food, and my parents owned like a deli for like over 20 years. So,
Yum.
Food is like love.
Yeah.
So for us, it's really understanding the person, making those small changes, but things that aren't going to really impact their life. But I know it's going to make a difference as well. And then we can look at sort of other changes as opposed to just body composition, like more like their clinical markers, like have your sugar levels reduced, your blood pressure better, are you off medication? So there's other ways to motivate people in that aspect. Like I had a lady the other day, she's like, I'm here because I don't want to go on insulin. I said, if you follow what I do, I can get you off one of your other diabetes medications. She's like, oh, I was like, I know I can because the way I'm going to change your food. And she was so motivated to do that. I can't wait to see her in 3 months to see where she's at. But yeah, that's why I love my job because I feel like you can just make those simple changes and make a big impact on someone's life down the track.
Oh, look, that sounds excellent because, yeah, especially with what you said about, Egyptian background and, yeah, the diet associated too. When it is like you're still maintaining your norm, but if you just make some slight changes, it could have great impacts on your body.
Yes.
And then the fact as well, you said that with your client that, yeah, if she just makes a few changes, you might be able to remove the medication, have a more natural result.
Yes.
I think that's the key to longevity, isn't it?
Absolutely. I feel like, we live in a society where we want things to come a lot easier and quicker. And I do tell them, like, it's not going to come quick. You have to go for the long haul. Yeah.
Easy come, easy go, isn't
100%.
it? 100%.
Yeah. Like, I'll see you back here if you're going to go down that avenue. And I think people appreciate honesty and being upfront. Being like, yeah, because I can't tell you that I know how much you're going to lose in 3 weeks' time. Don't ask me that question. I don't know. But, if you do this over a long period of time, I can help you with other things as well. Yeah.
No, the long game's the key.
So a real medical scare.
So I think for us, like my background is very clinical. So working in the hospital was very clinical based. And also I feel like that's what molded our practice as well, because a few of the dietitians that work in our practice as well have worked in the hospital. So it's not like we've just looked at the food pyramid and say just don't eat much bread and cereal. We're very clinical. So we look at sort of the biomarkers of what your bloods are doing. We might look at further gut testing, might have a better, more medical analysis as opposed to like just a prescription of like this is what everyone should be doing.
Yeah, something you can read on the internet.
Yeah. Something that Instagram might tell you.
Yeah, that's something we want to educate people here, show them that, especially with the dangers of the internet and people posting diets and looking a certain way when they're just dehydrated for a photo shoot.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that a challenge for you? Like someone comes in, oh, well, I heard this online, and then you've got to kind of navigate around that?
Yeah, I think like in our industry, like I said, it's building trust as well. So people come with their guard up. Not everyone, but some people do. Saying and not wanting to make the change already. So if I can win them over with one or two things, but people come very confused as well. Yeah. You've got women in their perimenopause, menopause, they're like, should I be fasting? My doctor told me to do keto. I don't know, I'm on creatine and I'm like, so I feel like there's a lot of confusion. So we really try and take out all the noise and tailor it to the individual. And look at research, like we're very clinical and research driven. So I'm not going to really recommend something that, because it's, someone said it worked for them. I'm like, well, that's good that it worked for them. But we've got to look at really what's clinical and what's the research showing.
Yeah. With something like perimenopause, because I know that there's so much learning happening in that area. Is there a few tips that you would be recommending to women that are kind of at that beginning stage?
I think like it's important to seek advice from a professional earlier on and have a really good GP who's really on board with understanding the testing and understanding you as a person. There's a lot of like women being very much dismissed. And also then like the avenue is like making sure you're doing the strength-based training from earlier on. Like don't start doing it when you're 55. You need to start that earlier on and, maybe getting a bit of professional guidance with that nutrition component and understanding like, am I hitting my protein requirements? You shouldn't be definitely doing fasting or super low carb. Like those are things that aren't recommended. And bone health is crucial at that age. So we're making sure that you're adequate vitamin D. Are you getting enough calcium? So yeah, just a few things to target.
Yeah, what do you mean by for a premenopausal woman? What do you mean by strength-based training?
So this, like the guidelines are really showing that increasing that resistance exercises at least 3 days per week has shown to improve bone density and also retain. Like as women, we do get older, we tend to lose that decline in the estrogen, so we lose or increase and easily more increase in that fat mass. So we see a big jump in weight for a lot of these women, right? So what we're trying to do is retain as much muscle as we can, and we'll encourage them to do the exercises to retain as much muscle as they can, so they can, burn more calories by doing nothing as well as they get older.
That's the same for the men. That sounds like it's a general thing for both sexes.
It's also good for cardiovascular health. So reducing the risk of other metabolic conditions. So that's what I say. Like some women implement them when they are in that menopause because that's what's being told. Yeah. But like if you can get it done earlier, start it now. If you're even in that perimenopause, it's good to start.
Start at any point. We had a teacher at Coggamarist, and he started when he was 58.
Training?
Almost 60 years old. Yeah, training. And he went, I'm actually stronger than I was in my 40s.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, great, really? And he came up to me and went, okay, what do you eat? Food. I'm not particularly one to ask for diets or anything like that. Yeah. And people assume I go, no. But still, it was nice to see the change in him.
Yes.
He straightened up. You see his posture changes.
Yeah.
You see the way he walks. He's got that bit of a bounce in his step, and his mood actually improved as well.
Yes.
So which was quite nice to see that change. Even actually, probably was 62.
Yeah. Wow.
When he went in. So it's something. It's a lifestyle change, but it's more of okay. If you don't, what are the consequences?
And it gets worse as we get older, right?
Yeah.
And if there's family history, that puts it at a high risk.
There's no avoiding that, is there?
No, I've got a terrible family history.
That's it. But this is the best way we can prepare ourselves, isn't it?
Well, everything that I can do in my control and my will that I think about like longevity. I just want to be able to be healthy for as long as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I'm with you on that too. And I actually really like what you said with your advice there about perimenopause too, because it's another area where there isn't just one answer for everyone.
No.
Do seek professional support too, because we've all got different genetic makeups and, activity levels, body structures too. And I think that's an important message to be getting out there to everyone as well.
Yeah.
Seek the support. What works for one person might not work for you, but there's a few tips around it.
Yes.
From my own curiosity, what do you find is more detrimental, the inactivity or the diet?
The diet.
The diet's more detrimental.
Yeah, because we do see people obviously who don't do any exercise, just don't like it, but have made phenomenal changes from their biochemistry markers and just, body composition with just diet. And it surprises me. I'm like, can you only imagine if you did exercise? Well, where you would
you'd be
be.
Accelerated, yeah.
Wow.
We can't comprehend not doing exercise, but...
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in a household of sport. So, to not do any exercise is very unusual and foreign to me. I was like, what do people do in their spare time? Probably read books. I'd like to read a book.
Maybe go for a walk,
Yeah, there are a lot of things.
Put the books in your backpack.
Yeah.
and
But so I do think diet definitely can make a difference. Not for everyone. Like some people, again, long history of being very athletic, so they probably need that form of activity. But most of the part, we see really good results just even through diet.
Yeah, I found my first nutritionist was Dr. Helen O'Connor.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
she was a guru.
Yeah, and the gains she gave me at 23 years old, people thought I was taking synthetic drugs.
Really?
Yeah,
wow. I've never had anything like this in my life.
Yeah.
And friend went and, okay, I'll just tag along. And the amount of protein wasn't right. A few other things weren't right. And then exactly like you said, all of a sudden, 3 years passed by and you've packed on 10 kilos of muscle in 3 years.
Yeah.
And now at the age, of course, your body's primed for that. But it never would have happened without the diet.
Yeah.
So, what do you recommend to high school kids? Like, what do you, your kids will eventually be in high school.
Yeah.
What would you feed them?
I mean, I think a lot of people, a lot of parents bring their high school, students or their children to come and see us for different reasons. Like for females, it could be predominantly there's a common presentation of women with low iron, or they're in lots of sports and feeling really fatigued all the time. Multiple, like I have a lot of kids that come and see me in private school, so they're doing so many sports in that school, man. So they're in bloody morning, afternoon, lunch. So they're fuel for performance. So I think it really depends on what they're like, there's so many different reasons why the high school students do come and see us. But if you're talking about the general.
So parents are watching this now.
Yes.
Teachers are watching this. Their kids are into high school. Let's say we could start with the junior years, year 7 and 8. Because the way we group them stage 4, they're 7 and 8. Stage 5 are 9 and 10. Stage 6 are 11 and 12. So for kids stepping into high school, year 7 and 8, your parents, you're at home, you're preparing breakfast, you're looking at dinner, etc. How do you optimize your child?
I think probably in those years, it's obviously navigating their way. It's like, they've just entered a high school, lots of kids, energy drained. So I would be making sure, one, they're getting an adequacy of like a breakfast, of course, because a lot of kids don't have breakfast.
Still the most important meal of the day.
Not for everybody, but like for students, I do think so.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have also had students who've come and seen me and they're like, I've never going to eat breakfast. I'm just going to work with what works for you.
Yeah.
I'll make your breakfast at recess. As long as you're not getting a V on the way to school, I'm all right. So I think the main thing is like looking at changing those dietary habits of where they might have those really refined sugars at the wrong time. It's going to give them a quick spike. Like, if they are having something like after school getting KFC and then having Coke and V's and like really sugary like oat drinks at morning recess, like they're just going to get this super high and get a real crash. Like they really are mentally drained already from just like trying to get into the high school. So the probably main thing I'd be saying to the parents and teachers is like, one, assessment like of what actually food they're actually consuming. Have they got any fruit in their diet, number one? Are they actually having a form of breakfast? Does it have to be protein-based right then and then? Maybe not. Like if you want to do something like Weet-Bix or just Vegemite toast, at least they're getting something with some sort of substance that's not going to really spike up their glucose. And then making sure they're not really like navigating towards like sugary foods, particularly after school because they're all starving, or buying like things that really aren't great on the way home, and then missing dinner half the time.
Because of that?
Yeah, because they go and buy their $2 chips and then next minute like they can't be bothered for dinner. So I think, making sure like they actually got some sort of wholesome fruit. Not everything needs to be in a packet convenient. And I would say not everything needs to be so protein dominant, as long as, especially like if they're just trying to get into healthy habits of eating. And the other thing I probably would just mention, is like talking about kids' weight is like a big no-no. Yeah, because I think at that age it's like there can become like distorted eating habits that evolve from commentary of weight. You're not, just be mindful of that. Like trying to get rid of scales available, because especially for females, it can really turn into bad habits later on.
It's very interesting you say that too, because there's body dysmorphia, but it exists in both sexes.
Of course.
And it's funny, because you're in obviously the female, the thinness, the leanness, but now also the young men, it's the buffness, the bulkiness, and then the look into illicit drugs, which we've seen bits and pieces of too.
Yes.
So you're 100% correct. You've got to be so careful with your language around young people.
And I think that usually tends to evolve around year 9. So year 9 is where we start to see the reduction in their food intake. They're not wanting to eat anymore. I can only eat 1 meal a day. Yeah, serious issues. That ends up actually with like clinical eating disorders. It's not an area that we work in, absolutely not, but we would refer them to the right, clinical or even hospital if they need to. But that's something like I really say to parents, like, I also think we also grew up in a house where no one ever spoke about your weight. It never spoke about our weight. So you just ate what your mum gave you and you exercise, like you always did something. So I think, language is really important. And I think if you want to go down the healthy aspect, you want your child, you're like noticing there are habits that need to improve, and you are concerned maybe about like their measurements around their tummy, because you're just as concerned as a parent.
Of course.
I would just say maybe, again, not really having that discussion with them. Just, again, maybe sending them to a health professional who's not going to really talk about weight and do all that, but just maybe talk about more about behavioural eating, healthier habits as such.
I think parents set the example. So, I mean, your kid, let's say if you are worried that your child is overweight, I mean, they did not grab a car and drive themselves to McDonald's. Whatever you're having at home is dictated by you.
Yeah.
So even coming to see you as a family.
Yes.
So you would personally, from what I do with the martial arts training, it's the whole family that needs to change. You don't point to your child in year 7 or year 9. You need to lose weight. I mean, they got there. They got like that for a reason. And as parents, I think the responsibility is pretty much in your hands. And it's not nice to say, but sometimes, when you take on that responsibility for that child, and it's not nice to say, sometimes I turned around and went, it actually looks like child abuse. You look at it to a point and you go, there's a lovely children. As teachers, we really care for them.
Of course.
And then you see, okay, what other issues are you having at home? And then, I mean, we're fortunate enough, I'm fortunate enough to be in a loving relationship, where we both care for our children, etc. And it actually hurts you when you're feeding them this stuff. And like you said, the dangers of sugar. So, I mean, talking to parents, you go, what are the dangers of sugar?
Yeah, well, I think it's just that they continue to have it and they want to keep having it and crave it, and then everything else gets dismissed in terms of like natural foods, Maybe ask a teenage kid sometimes, like, when the hell did they last eat a fruit?
What's in our bodies that does that? Like, why are we designed this way?
Well, it's just anything. So we have like these, beautiful gut bacteria that the more we have of things, the more our gut bacteria sort of craves it. So it then increases like that form of bacteria within the tummy that craves that sugar component. So then it wants to continue to have that sugar component. So like a lot of my, adults or, other patients who come and say, I actually don't feel like I had a chocolate and I just doesn't like feel as good as it tasted anymore. And I'm like, yeah, because you're actually starting now to eat healthily foods more regularly and your gut bacteria is changing and now it's craving the good stuff. So it just becomes also like a point of like laziness and then that fatigue, and then they just want a sugar hit to make them feel a little bit better, and then it becomes that vicious cycle, and also like they're studying late, so they want to have more sugar. So the consequence, of course, of that is that they're going to want to continue to have it. It doesn't really, regardless of their weight. I have young females who are super thin but terrible habits of their eating habits. So poor menstrual cycle, there's no menstrual cycle, very irregular, acne, really poor acne, dental, really poor dental, hair loss, fatigue, mood swings. It's not just like females, but it's
it's the females are the ones that actually. We have to admit the society shuns on them first.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things that you just gotta you can say, but it's the men as well, but we all know you could probably lay at 80%, 20% if I had to guess. The pressure,
and they've got the harder hormonal route as well,
they
and
do.
That's a massive factor in their bodies too. Like even with the young men in puberty, like you do see that they'll stack on weight, but then they shoot up, and there's a reason to why it's happening. But then, there's so many more factors with the young females that they have to deal with, impacting physically, emotionally, and cycling constantly.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, look, it's just hard. But look, one thing you said too that I actually want to jump back to, you started talking about gut health, and there's been so much information starting to come out about, your gut health and the impacts it has on you going forward. Could you tell us some of the importance of knowing a bit about gut health?
Yeah, well, I mean, it can be influenced by so many things. I guess the type of clientele that we see that come to us for gut health management are like patients with irritable bowel syndrome or IBD, which means like ulcerative colitis. So it's a bit more of an inflammatory condition. Some people just come and see us for more like gut-related issues like constant bloating, wind, not really unsure. There's no real significant diagnosis, but unsure why they just feel uncomfortable within their tummy. And then also people come and see us for skin-related issues, which is also associated with the gut health stuff as well. Like there is so much to dwell into in that area, but it is such an important area and always evolving in terms of the research. But I definitely say it's driven, like your gut is an area that sort of impacts a lot of other things. Otherwise, like, your energy fatigue, like the bowel movements, like not having the regular bowel movement, how that impacts even your skin and your mood. So I think how important it is so important. How easy is it to test? It's not. Like the testing side of things can be quite difficult and also can be quite expensive. So like, there are testings of assessment through like colonoscopies and endoscopies, and that's through, the gastroenterologist. But sometimes that doesn't always pick up things as well. So, we do refer our clients to do some stool and analysis as well, and that gets sent to America and we do review that. So that's a little bit more detailed. Not all dietitians are really into that sort of assessment, but, it's a bit more naturopath. But I definitely see such a significant difference through clients is doing that stool sample analysis. And that obviously comes at a bit of a cost, but I'm like, it's a once off, and then we really know what we need to target.
Yeah, kind of what's going on.
We can see there's especially for kids that I had a lady long history of being on antibiotics as a kid, for acne. And then her gut health as she's gotten older is horrific. So you look at the history of what they did as a kid, and even their eating habits as a kid, that influences their gut health later. It doesn't mean they can't change it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they can't change it. But it's also we need to make an assessment of what is going on, and how can we fix this? And that's really diet, navigating specific supplementation and then reassessing their symptoms later on.
So what could they be? Let's say I'm in that situation where I know something's wrong and it could be linked to my gut. What dietary changes could I make initially to kind of start targeting that?
Yes. Well, I think the main thing is we look at natural is best, right? So we're looking at the pre and probiotic foods. What are they? They are more things like, kimchi, sauerkrauts, kefir, pickles, trying to incorporate a variety of colorful vegetables, because the more abundance of fruits and vegetables you have, the better it is for the good flow of bacteria. But as well, pinpoint, there are some people in certain stages where things like onions and garlics is not really tolerable because it causes a lot of wind and indigestion. So it'd be something you can't have for now. Even legumes as well. So it's really looking at navigating, okay, maybe we need to cut out gluten because that could be an issue. We can see an inflammatory marker at this particular point. But if we're looking at the general population, I want to improve my gut health, I'm thinking about trying to look at it, I'd say kefir, yogurt, probably my two big things that I really natural Greek yogurt, or even the Activia yogurt's got a really good probiotic in there. Yep. And then I look at maybe introducing things like psyllium, flaxseed meal, kiwis, beetroot, dragon fruit. They're all great things that really help with the gut. So they're just a few pointers.
That's excellent.
No, that's excellent. Because
Listen.
as a parent, you're packing your kids' lunch.
Yeah.
And you've given us good, go shopping, okay, here they are.
Yes.
Chop them up, send them to school, instead of giving them those little packet of chips.
Yes.
Yeah, usually convenience kills.
Of course.
That's what I've noticed,
It's a good call.
It does. It does. I've seen it with the martial arts practice and watching people get healthy. And like I said, any sort of exercise can only take you so far. It's the diet that you really got to have down pat first. And anyone that comes training with me, it's when they get their diet right that you see great results.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Great. Especially, well, for us older fellas, what about the alcohol?
I mean, listen, I love a drink, but I don't drink as much anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect people in terms of when we want to relax, but I guess it becomes alcohol in a social environment and just a once off or once a week to an everyday, So, I mean, it's obviously causes a lot of inflammatory markers, but then there's also the antioxidants. I'm a great believer in moderation, and I mean at least 4 to 5 alcohol-free days a week, even though the guidelines recommend less.
4 or 5 drinks a week.
Alcohol-free days. Alcohol-free days.
That's still a lot.
No, not drinking. Oh, you should.
Let's say 3 days a week you're drinking, 4 you're not. It still sounds like a lot.
I would always say maximum 2 days would be what I would recommend. And I would go no more than 2 standard drinks
a week
at a seating.
It
would be
okay.
But it obviously depends on the person.
I don't particularly drink much, but I'm just curious.
I mean, obviously everyone's varies. It depends on the condition. If you got hypertension and diabetes and you're really trying to like reverse, I'd be very specific. But for the general public who are drinking, like there are a lot of people who are drinking every day. So if you can take that message to like kind of back to, you know, twice a week. I mean, listen, if you're a person that drinks every single day already, like just cutting back the volume or maybe trying to aim for 2 alcohol-free days. And that's what I mean. Like that's what we do. Telling someone who drinks 7 days a week to go
just
to
stop
like,
drinking.
come on, she ain't coming back. I really would negotiate, but I really justify the reason as to why, because it's going to impact their ability to do some exercise. I ain't getting up next day after I drink. You know, who would?
No, you can't recover.
It's the recovery process.
Yeah, it depends. If you push your body to the extreme, like, and then you need to recover. For us, the recovery is everything.
Yes,
is everything. So I mean, alcohol just
impacts that. Sleep impacts.
No, you don't. You don't. You just don't. I can tell the difference. I do really enjoy my 18, 20-year-old single malt with ice, but I know on Monday, okay, it's going to be a tough.
Yeah,
it's going to be a tough session, and so even if it's 3 standard drinks, I'd say by Wednesday, Thursday, you feel your knuckles are back. You feel your ligaments are back.
The inflammatory response.
You
have an inflammatory response.
It's the shakiness of the hands, because you'll still do the exercise, but then the next day you ain't got a nice grip on the fist where you can grab that bar again. Or it's so from anyone who's training as an athlete.
Alcohol is just not consumed.
Yeah, it's not consumed. No.
Poison.
Athletes are too disciplined in that. Maybe not with their food, but they're definitely disciplined. Or they do become disciplined actually when they come and see us. But their dietary habits before that is not very good.
Athletes become disciplined because of the effects the food has on their performance.
Correct. Yes.
This is where you go, wow.
Yes.
But then as you age, actually you can still keep the performance up.
Absolutely.
With specific diets. That's why we came to you.
Yeah. I can see that for myself, being older.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Training all these years, but just I don't have time to drink anymore.
Yeah. So what's your training like? You're obviously lifting weights, but what would a weight program be for you?
Well, I go to a CrossFit gym, and I'm generally there 3 to 4 days a week, and then I do have like a whole gym set up at home, which I'm really grateful for my husband setting all that up. So
nice.
It's beautiful. We got everything. So I will also then probably say like 3 days a week is my goal at CrossFit, and then I would do like 1 or 2 days a week at home, which could be then just more like isolated, bodybuilding movements, sort of type of movements,
putting muscle on,
or like skill work, or if I get FOMO, I'll go another day to CrossFit. But I'm generally like 4 is my minimum. 5 is a fabulous week.
That's good. That's nice volume.
Yeah.
And that's it? No other cardio or anything? Or the CrossFit does incorporate the cardio?
Yeah, it's always strength.
Increases the heart rate, yeah.
But then I may go like the 1 day a week where it might be a very cardio-based day. Like a Saturday, for example, might be a very cardio.
You're doing rowing machine, running,
Yep. So I'm already thinking about my workout tomorrow, Yeah. It's good. I think I've got like a good balance.
How do you find your body recovers as you get older?
Well, that's why I probably can't do the intensity I did years ago. Like I can't do the CrossFit 6 days a week anymore. And within my gym, it's good because you can do like other components, not just CrossFit. They've got another component that's not just like, that intensity. So if you want to back off 1 day, you can, which is good. So I've got that flexibility. But in terms of recovery, I just can't train 5 days in a row anymore. No way. And I don't know, I used to train for so long. 45 minutes is my cap. But
the data coming out is, though, we shouldn't be doing every day of the week anyway. We need our rest days.
Yes, and I'm so much more stronger than I was when I was in my mid-20s.
I actually feel the same way with myself. Like I'm in a better stage now than I was back then.
For sure.
It's train smarter, not harder necessarily.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm grateful.
Yeah. I was going to ask too, you mentioned inflammation before, and that's also a new terminology that's come up a lot more recently. Would you be able to explain to us what inflammation actually means?
Yeah. So inflammation is where, in terms of like parts of the body where you're feeling like maybe muscle soreness, can be also associated with a couple of like chronic conditions. So some people just have chronic inflammation. Some people have like inflammation associated from like endometriosis, metabolic conditions, like even diabetes causes like inflammation, inflammation from arthritis. So it's basically like more, I couldn't say just muscle soreness because it comes from a multitude of other things. But basically like chronic stress in the body. And how diets can make such a significant difference, depending on the condition. But there are definitely some, proven sort of research to show that certain antioxidants and high polyphenols, like meaning like lots of variety of fruits and vegetables, reducing those carcinogenic types of foods or, inflammatory foods such as alcohol, or even things like cured meats. And we really like take them back, even just reducing meat.
I saw that about cured meats now that it's a stage 1 carcinogenic.
Yes,
like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Ham and salami.
No,
Yeah.
that's processed food.
Yeah,
It's a little bit more than cured.
Yeah.
I mean, if it doesn't look like it just got chopped up, that's my theory.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. I haven't seen a cow spin around on a kebab store. But you could. I tell everyone, look, not nutrition, but make those healthy choices. We'll go to a kebab store. Well, they've got the skewers.
Yeah.
Throw the skewers on, stick them in a roll, fork another $8 out of your pocket, and off you go. But
would you thought of that about ham butt?
But yeah, because you can get diced, you can put them on a stick.
But I mean, ham's in that category.
No.
No, I know ham is. No pig looks like that.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Like, I mean, does it look like meat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, I think some people find as a convenient protein that they put on their sandwiches.
That's right. I always thought it was healthy ham.
Yeah. I mean, again, I really reduce the frequency of it because that's what they're talking about is like how often you're having it. So I really try and say no more than once a week. Depending if they have an inflammatory condition, I get it out. Like it's not even negotiable. So that's something like we really look into. And I think just changing those elements in the diet that I can increase their omega-3s, trying to get more natural, like walnuts, chia seeds, pecans, pumpkin seeds, like more natural high antioxidant and omegas as well, like fish into their diet. Just, changing those things. And like, I'm just thinking a plan that I was running yesterday, like this lady also had endometriosis, trying to fall pregnant, difficulty falling pregnant. So I'm looking at, right, you're determined, like, and actually the evidence talks about cutting out meat completely for for that condition, like that sort of health condition, endometriosis. Like
even like chicken breast as well.
1 to 2 times a week, maximum. I mean, is that feasible for her? Maybe not because she was having it lunch and dinner, but I said we just go like pretty much meat-free lunches. We're going to go more like omegas, and then the dinners you can sort of taper that down. So I feel like there's a lot of dietary suggestions to help with some sort of inflammatory conditions. Which is good.
That's good. And once again, you're trying to find a way. This is the person's current eating pattern. Let's just try to adjust so it's not so extreme.
Yes, I mean, if I told her to go vegan, she ain't coming back.
No. What about supplements? You mentioned creatine. What else?
Is creatine king?
Yeah, everyone knows that. It's good.
Creatine.
It's a worldwide shortage.
Lucky, I've been on it for like 18 years when I first started taking it.
Yes.
I thought I'd have kidney stones by now.
Yeah.
When you just rolled the dice and it worked in my favour.
It's so good.
So you did, Rob.
Hey, the bros knew back then.
I know. She's got a good rap now.
Yeah, now. Oh, God, she's in the headaches.
I know.
Headaches 20 years ago. But obviously, that's why we came with Maya to see you, where I'm obviously in my 50s, Maya's in her 40s. And it was what supplements do you recommend? Like, what do you give to say, what would you recommend for high school kids than adults?
Well, I think like not everyone needs to be on a supplement, right? Like I think we think of it, they supplement the diet. So it's more like the icing on the cake. For some people, supplements make a significant difference, whether or not, and I can see that myself too. Like when I have a lot of chronic inflammation, I take curcumin, like a good, like turmeric and a fish oil, and I'm pretty good. Like I can sleep.
And you actually feel the inflammation.
Yes, I do because the quality of the product is good, number one, and the dose is high. So, it's not like just something we just get off the shelf. But like I think not everyone needs to be on supplements and not everyone needs to be on a particular supplement for a very particular time. I think it's good to cycle them on and off. If we're talking about high school students, like again, I don't often recommend much supplementation to high school students, but if there was a presentation of low iron and they were not able to get that through the diet, that's 100%, that's one I would supplement, because that really leads to foggy brain, poor concentration skills, low energy, low mood. So that's one. We probably supplement a lot for kids with low iron. Vitamin D might be a common supplement we recommend. A lot of kids are not outside anymore. And the predominant way to get vitamin D is the sun. So again,
vitamin D.
Yeah.
Never thought of that.
It's so common. I can't even remember the stats, but it's quite significant, like the amount of deficiency. And kids don't often get blood tests as well. So I'm not usually recommending a supplement unless I've had a blood test.
So you need a medical condition, like something.
I'm not gonna. I mean, I can make I can suspect that this person has low vitamin D, and there's no harm in me prescribing it. But I'd prefer to have a number so I can be a bit more prescriptive with how much and for how long, and the dose. So, I mean, otherwise, in terms of like other supplementation, again, depends on the kid. Like if there's maybe ADHD concentration issues, we might look at some sort of types of magnesium. But I don't tend to go down the supplement pathway too much with younger adults, because I really want to try and get to that dietary component and get the baseline first. Good.
There is one, and it escapes me, and it's not magnesium, but I've seen students being recommended it when they can't sleep or they're having sleeping patterns. Do you recall?
Melatonin?
Yes.
Oh, melatonin,
yes.
Yeah. I mean, melatonin is prescribed by the doctor.
Yeah.
They can also get quite low doses of melatonin, I think, over the counter.
Yeah.
But that is for sleep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is a supplementation. It's not a drug classification.
No, it's a supplement. But like it's not really like a supplement we would prescribe. I would more go down the road of like a natural. Well, it is prescription actually. Yeah. So I would go down more like a magnesium with like herbs in them as a first line. Yes. Then melatonin, It's
good because I just recall one situation in my role as a wellbeing coordinator that we did have a student that was struggling to sleep at night, and he said, I couldn't remember the name, then I'm glad you remembered it, but he was being prescribed melatonin and he was worried because it's a drug and all that too, but his dad was trying to say, no, it's a natural substance, and like it is medicated and you have been given a prescription, but you do need to take this, and trying to justify that, and the kid did need to, he wasn't sleeping at night.
Oh well, fair. I understand.
Do they look at other issues,
they'd gone to GPs, like it was from a doctor.
Okay,
They had gone down it, and the reason I was hearing about it because it was leading to school refusal because they weren't getting sleep at night. And so this kid, they were looking for answers, and this is what the doctor had recommended.
Yeah.
And so it was all above board.
It might not be something he would need to do like forever. It might be
not
a short
at all.
period of time.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully to get him back to school.
The priority is to get him to school, right? So sometimes like you'll just do whatever you can in those situations. But like under that medical advice, of course. Yeah. I'm gonna blame him. Sleep is crucial.
Sleep is crucial, foundational.
Right, it's everything. It makes or breaks you. And we did a whole talk on sleep.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we went through Matthew Walker's book, Why We Sleep.
Oh, right, yes.
And we actually did a book review on it, and we basically chopped that up into its components for our kids and our adults that watch our show. What about for adults?
In terms of supplementation?
Yeah.
Again, like I think, what age group are we looking at?
I don't know, say start, in the 20s, 20s, 30s, and then we'll move on 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Well, let's just go through every demographic there is.
Yeah.
So
I mean, again, like I think in that mid-20s, I think it depends on the individual, what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
how physical.
Yeah. So if you're like a person that is training regularly, you're finding it's difficult from a recovery point of view, potentially like then we need to look at a good quality magnesium just to help with that muscle recovery. Again, I might look at an anti-inflammatory if you're getting constant like DOMS and you're just always finding that you're getting like maybe like little niggles all the time. Might look at a good omega, essentially. Depending on the individual, like I don't like in terms of gut health sort of stuff, we may look down the road of some good probiotics, but at the end I try the food first in that scenario. Like I try and do the quality of the diet, but if they have like presentation of like loose bowel motions or constant bloating or lots of flatulence and that's impacting their ability to go to the gym, then I'm looking at the diet, but then I might look at a probiotic specifically prescribed
something more medical.
That's
what you do.
I'm very much like say I don't prescribe supplements. Like I think some people do come to us with like 10 different supplements. You know what I mean? And the cost of that freak, it adds up, man.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at $400 a month sometimes.
Oh wow.
It adds up. So I'm like, how are you gonna even know that all of that's working? You know, so I think that's why I say it's good to sort of go through peaks and troughs of like what you're going through. Like for me, I mean, I'm available. I got all the supplements I've got in my clinic, but like, what do I take? Like I take magnesium every single night. It's a night magnesium because just to help me with like calming and sleep. I predominantly take my fish oil most days of the week, not every single day. I have a quite good concentrated one. But I'll up that when I'm in a bit
Yeah, you actually you prescribed us that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife
It's a good one.
buys it up.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
And I'll take like a curcumin when I have like pain, like a niggle in my
joints. Yeah.
So that would only be as required. And what else do I take at the moment? I take NAD, like an energy one, an NR Supreme. I take that on my working days to like.
What does that do? I've read about that, and
it just helps so much with the energy component of the big pathways. So just like it just helps so much with like that energy. It's like you get a bit of like a spring in your step. Do I take it every day? And it's a very like everyone's using it as an anti-aging, like antioxidant.
It's better than coffee.
Yeah.
That's something I need to ask.
It is actually.
Really?
Yeah, we become so used to like caffeine is something that we can adapt to. Our body gets so used to caffeine, so it's something that.
So my 6 shots before 12 o'clock.
6 shots.
Antioxidant, you said.
It is. Yes.
I only heard the antioxidant part.
It does.
I
it actually is very good. So that and NAD is probably the only thing I take.
Okay, interesting. No collagen?
Oh, sorry. I do take a collagen every day. I take a whole body collagen, which is specific though for muscles and tendons, not like a beauty collagen.
Now, please, I'm begging. Can you give me one that tastes good?
None of them taste good, man.
God, my wife mixes it for me. She says it's good for you. Oh my God.
Man, just put it in your smoothie. Do you have you don't have a protein shake, do you? No. I actually, you know what I put it with?
Yeah.
I'll tell you my concoction at nighttime. You really want to know? I put 2 teaspoons of psyllium husks, 2 teaspoons of flaxseed meal, a teaspoon of honey, my collagen, my creatine, mix it all with a bit of warm milk, almond milk, and then I put honey. Yeah, I put honey because you need a bit sweet in it. And if I haven't had much protein, I'll put a little bit of protein powder, and then I put it in the fridge, and then I eat it.
So how much creatine?
I put 5 grams.
Only?
Then I take about like another 5 or 10.
Another 10. Yeah, because 5 seems to be just muscle.
But like some people have never taken creatine, so it's a good starting point.
Okay.
3 to 5, But you're a bigger guy, mate. You need requirement. You have a big.
Yeah, I do 15 grams. Not me. During the day, I don't think I've ever drinking water without creatine.
Oh, really?
So it's just it is. And at school, I call it my happy powder.
Yeah.
Everyone thinking some illicit drug. Okay, Rob's always happy. This is my happy powder. So 750 ml bottle of water. 3 grams, down it goes, another 3. So we'll end up about 15 grams of 15 grams of creatine throughout the day slowly. But you're 50 plus years old. I'm not sure if the body absorbs it properly anymore, or
it just goes to the brain now. Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's working.
I'm sure it is.
We'll see, but it's important. Like that's why we came to you.
Yeah.
Because we generally think, we do eat healthy, and me and my wife pretty similar. We've got that garage set up with all the bumper plates and the kettlebells and the Rogue Echo bike. God, get that piece of equipment if you don't throw up.
Yes,
it's just a demon. And but then you're just not sure. Am I eating enough protein?
Yeah.
What are these supplements? Are they working? Are they not working? Am I just, when I turn the light off and you go to the toilet and you can, illuminate the place.
Yes.
and it's all money down the toilet if it doesn't work.
On the topic of protein, is there too much protein?
Yeah, well, there is.
Yeah, what would you say?
I feel like there is. We know the importance of it,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
And we know as we do get older, the requirements are actually higher, due to that muscle depletion, especially in that perimenopause, menopause. But I feel like there is maybe an overestimation, and then there becomes this fixed focus of protein, and everything else gets forgotten about.
Like fibre.
I forgot fibre. I don't need any more carbs.
Yeah.
So physically, people are getting more constipated, gut-related issues, and we're seeing actually there is a lot more changing gut flora bacteria with people who are following just a protein-dominant diet, who aren't doing the complementary fibre and adequacy of carbs. So there are magic numbers that are prescribed, and we all, as sports dietitian, we say, yep, the 2 grams per kilo of lean muscle mass is great. But also, like, I'd be realistic with the individual. Like, I think, yes, it's important to hit it, but if you don't hit it every single day, it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
I need your fibre to be a priority. I need to get an adequacy of some form of carbohydrates. I need to get the other micronutrients like calcium in as well. So I think there is protein written on everything these days.
Yep.
The labels and the
Everything's
marketing.
having
Sell point.
protein marketing is massive.
And sometimes when you look at the comparison, you're like, it's not much of a difference. It's 2 gram difference compared to the other products.
And double the price.
Double the price.
Yeah.
So I feel like, understanding food labels is important, and cost of, like, gram per protein. Like, I think we try to go a bit more natural, but does everyone need a protein powder? Absolutely not.
No.
I think we incorporate them when people struggle to get that proportion of protein in. But at the same time, maybe there is an overconsumption of it unnecessarily. And I can think, like, a couple of conversations I had this week was like, I actually need to cut back on your protein.
Yeah.
Patients like, oh, really? But I thought it doesn't count. I'm like, it's calories.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Right. But what else are you taking with the protein?
Yeah.
Well,
What
people
about
are taking
sugar
like
and everything
protein waters, protein collagen waters. Then they're taking like all these protein. I'm like, that's, the protein water alone is 30 grams of protein.
Such a thing exists?
Yeah.
Man, I'm not in the loop.
Bodies is one of the products that's
Protein
available.
water. So they
Protein
mix
water, just
whey
collagen
protein
and
in the
collagen
water.
and water. Yeah. And it's only like a 750 ml bottle. And it's got 30 grams of protein, right? So I'm like, it's a bit unnecessary. Some people, yes, I can totally get it. But like, there are also some people, I'm like, you can just save yourself $6 a day and get rid of that, and we don't need it.
Buy a protein powder.
Buy a protein powder, but like, they'll use that on top of their protein powder. Everyone just thinks it's because it's got protein, it's
Yeah,
good.
they're all in on it.
Yeah,
They're going
yeah.
all in.
Are they
Everything's
training?
protein.
They want to get stronger?
Not training at all, some of these people at all.
Yeah.
So the requirements of the protein is not high.
I think they're listening to podcasts and not actually
and this is
seeing.
talking
where
about,
the
isn't it?
confusion is, right? Like, you got the women, she was in that perimenopause. She's like, doesn't train, but she's also like, but a protein is important. And that's what she should be doing. And creatine, I'm like, but she, yes, maybe the creatine, but
I think they listen to this. I mean, they listen to a section of what someone like Dr. Gabriel Leon would say, and just take that part, not take the whole picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just a question of, you get these medical doctors from America that are prominent on social media now saying, women don't eat enough protein. You should take creatine, but they don't realize that she's actually saying what you were saying well before about resistance, heavy weight training. So they miss elements of the whole picture, and they just focus on, well, that's easy to do. I just put it in my mouth, chew and swallow.
Yeah.
Actually getting under a bar, as you know, is difficult.
Yeah.
It's the technique. You need someone to show you. You got to get it right. You don't do it right, you could be damaging yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why we say, like,
there's a lot that goes on.
don't ask me, go see an exercise physiologist.
Yeah, same. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. No one would come, you wouldn't turn around and give advice for someone, on how to lift, even though you yourself could look the part.
Never.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing when you go on social media. You wouldn't go get advice of someone for nutrition just because they look like they're eating right or doing things right. And this is where what you're saying, I think, has happened.
Yeah, of course. And I think everyone can be a professional in their own way.
Yeah.
You're professional at what you know. You've got one life. You can focus on one thing and have a passion for it and get very good at it, and then give back to society.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're good at anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't mean you should give advice on anything else. I mean, this is what we're trying to educate people. It's educational currency.
Yeah.
And that's what real education is. Education is getting your information from someone that's done it for a while. And it's very specific to what they've done for a while.
Yeah.
So if it's weight training, you look at something like Athlete X. He shows you how to lift properly. He shows you where the grips are, how to breathe, how to adjust yourself, etc. If it's nutrition, you go to someone like yourself.
Yeah.
Someone who's actually done the hard yards, done the research, done the reading, has got their clients coming in and out. Where you, like you said, something might be off, iron, calcium, and you leave that too late, all that hard work, all that supplements go down the toilet for nothing. So from your clinical practice and from your, professional experience, what is the one thing you wish that if you could just click your fingers, you could change in society?
Oh.
If you could just, seeing all the clients that are coming to you,
Yeah.
if you could just go, done, and you'd go, okay, I'd be very happy if that didn't exist. Or they were able to change. One bit of advice.
I know, it's hard. You know what? I feel like there's there's so many, but to me,
List a few if you will.
to be honest, having a good team is crucial in every aspect. And being saying okay, what's one thing is I wish that all disciplines were on the same page. Like for me, if I can't help you, I'm referring you on to somewhere. And I feel like that's the same as GPs and specialists. Don't tell my client that you're fat and you need to lose weight, and they are doing everything they can. You know what I mean? Get the help. Actually listen to them. I feel like if everyone was receptive and listened to what people's problems were, things would, we would all come to a very quick conclusion, rather than being in this sort of same boat 10 years down the track. And, I don't know, I want to call it necessary neglect, but it's I feel like not everyone's on the same page. And I think being as a health professional, I see things and I'm people come to me and they're oh, my doctor said my cholesterol is a little bit high, or my sugar's a little bit high, but 3 years down the track, I'm getting diabetes. I know they're going to get diabetes. But this doctor has seen sugar levels 10 times, 15 times a lot higher and has seen it day in, day out for the last 40 years. So to them, that little bit of sugar is not high to them anymore. That's just you got a bit of sugar.
They're desensitized.
Correct.
Yeah.
And for me, I, as a practitioner, even though I've been doing this for nearly 14 years, I'm that will develop. You're 35, you're 40 now. What is going to happen when you're 50? And you're going to be absolutely livid when you find out when you're 50 that this is what's happened. And you're I bloody sought help. I was seeking for help when I was 35 and I was 40. Why didn't anyone help me? For me, if everyone could be on the same page and acknowledge everyone that everyone is, seeking for help immediately. Not everyone wants to action it, but if we all had a simple protocol that this is what you do, I mean, the world would be a lot better place and we'd have a lot less stress on the medical system later on.
I think you're talking about a human connection.
Maybe that's what it is.
It's that human. It's that caring for that person in front of you.
And I'm sure everyone does.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's not
I wouldn't. You assume everyone does.
Yeah. I feel sometimes you've been in. I have fabulous connections and relationships with a lot of GPs who've been in the game for a very long time. And they treat every patient extreme. Sometimes I'm oh my god, this GP is a bit excessive, but it's good. It's good.
You need to hear that.
Yeah. So if everyone could just click their fingers and everyone be on the same page, that would be my that would be my calling. Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah. Thanks.
Actually, no, very good.
Just my last question I'd like to ask you is in relation to fasting. That's a popular thing people are talking about now. Is it good? Is it bad?
Yeah.
Does it help with cancer? What's the story here?
I can't quote on the area of cancer because it's not my specialty area. So, I mean, some people say it does, but I wouldn't quote on cancer because it's not an area that I really have.
But what about just general recovery?
Listen,
well-being?
I think there definitely has its benefits for multiple factors. I would really look at the individual and for example, if someone was super sedentary, high levels of glucose, high fatty liver, didn't really or just eating the sake of eating because they just thought it was good, I probably would consider fasting because there's some good metabolic markers that can improve from just essentially reducing your volume of food. Because at the end of the day, it can be a calorie deficit at the same time as well. Some people find that it helps improve their concentration. I would say for anyone though, who might be training at 6 a.m. in the morning, extreme, it's not really ideal because I'm going to compromise muscle. I'm going to compromise your level of fatigue, energy. You're going to binge behaviors before. We also look at not ideal for perimenopause, menopause now is what they're saying. So I think I would be and I think that's a lot of my patients say, my GP told me just to fast and go on a keto diet. I'm Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
So I think I definitely see the benefits, and like I can tell you, I definitely put patients on intermittent fasting.
And what does that mean, intermittent? Like what does
Intermittent
that
fasting means we're eating within an 8 to 10 hour window, or what's called time restricted feeding. And the benefit of that is like having like 14 to 16 hours not eating actually can allow that person to sort of burn excess calories of like they wake up at 7 a.m. They're not really eating until 11 anyway. So the body's like thermogenically burning a bit more energy of what their stores are. I use it particularly for like quite sedentary people who don't really move much at work. And maybe like I need to cut off the binge like behaviours that are occurring at nighttime or the mindless eating. So I'm like 8 o'clock, you're done. You know, so some people work good with time frames. There's also some good research to help that it shows improves like the short chain fatty acids within the gut. So if someone's got some gut related issues, and again, like not really needing that high energy requirement, I might consider doing some fasting. Yeah. But also, like in my line of work, I'm consulting for 8 to 10. Like a fasting would never work for me, even though if I'm maybe sitting up 10 hours, I only get like a 30-minute window to eat at 2 o'clock. So am I going to really be brain dead and eat like, 700 calories in 30 minutes? I've had indigestion.
Yeah.
So I really like to take that into account. But there definitely are some sort of benefits.
For specific scenarios. Yeah, that's good to know.
What about those 24-hour, 48-hour, 70-hour fasts?
I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan.
I'm not a fan. Nah, unless you're sort of trying to get into weight category for the next day.
Wait. Well, that's different.
No, I'm not a big fan of it either.
You load the salt up, jump in a sauna.
Yes.
You can dehydrate quickly. It's not very healthy, and then you can rehydrate.
Yeah.
Fighters do that all the time.
Yeah, I've got a weightlifter doing it on Sunday.
What? They got to make weight.
Yeah. Weightlifting. Yeah.
Because they're in
classes.
Competitive classes. Yeah.
But do they compete on the day or the
They
day?
compete on the day.
You don't want to particularly be dehydrated and competing on the day after.
So they weigh in. They got 2 hours. Yeah. They will be dehydrated.
Fighters do it the day before.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, but this is
So they're actually dropping the weight on the day.
Yeah.
So what's the percent? What is it? 10, up to 5% in body weight tops.
Well, yes.
Or less.
Yeah. Well, that's why I tell them, come see me earlier, man. Don't give me 4 weeks.
Yeah, true.
Give me some time because I like to do it healthily. I really don't like to do the restrictions too early because I know the energy, like, and the depletion. I mean, everyone does it their own way.
Yeah. And then they're competing after.
And then they're competing. Yeah.
Just competing your natural weight.
Yeah, but that it can be quite competitive. Like sometimes in the weightlifting category, it's hard. You're doing
this
like
isn't a CrossFit weightlifting.
No. This is like Olympic lifting.
Oh, that takes years and years of practice.
A 1 RM snatch.
Yeah, that's all technique.
It is.
Yeah, all technique
so
and power.
You need that, like your weight class category. So
that's different.
Yeah.
That's a different. If you want to be an Olympian and represent your country in the weightlifting in the Olympics, that's another level athlete.
Still might have a chance. But
so tell us how can people contact you, like where your clinic's at, etc.
You can reach out at our website. It's Nutrition Solutions Sydney. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Our page is Nutrition Solutions Sydney. We have a range of dietitians there who all work in the same area like myself. So you can just reach out that way. Best to go through the website or you can DM us on our socials.
And we'll have a link to the website in our what is it called, Kate?
Show notes.
Show notes, sorry. I'm still learning this. Thank you again, guys. We were very honoured to have her on. She's helped us. You helped me and my wife out
a lot.
I
free session, it feels like. Thank you so much.
Consult you later.
You really helped me and my wife out a lot, and I really was hoping for some collagen, good tasting supplement, but that's not happening.
There ain't none.
I guess I'm going to have to mix it with other
Psyllium
things.
husks.
Psyllium husks, okay. Thank you again for listening to us. We are bringing experts into their field to, better educate us. And like we said, we are the education currency. And for us, this was a great educational experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'm Robert Namoski.
And I'm Chris Galadikis. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Wow, thank you very much.
Is that okay?
Just a wealth of knowledge. Yes.
Can I get a photo? Is that okay?
Yeah.